you guys a few minutes to pop in. I know a lot of you are going to be excited for this episode because we have Fewocious on, which I'm so excited about. But we'll just give everyone a few minutes to pop in, and we'll chat a little bit while we're waiting, and just pop in the chat room when you're here. But thank you so much for coming on, Fewocious. I'm super excited to have you, and I know that this is going to be a really fun episode.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I watch these every time you have them. I was late once and I was so sad. Then I rewatched.
Aw, that's sweet of you. Yeah, no, it's kind of it's tough to do these because or to get everyone uh, to get the right time because everyone's on such different time zones. But
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is what it is. But I always put these on YouTube, so you guys know you can watch them after on YouTube as well. But yeah, no, this is. I'll start with a softball question while people are still coming in.
Okay.
Hey, NFT Lander. I would love to know where Ferocious comes from and how long you've had the name, like the whole thing.
The whole thing? Okay. Wow. Okay. So Fewocious was something my friend would call me. I don't know where they got it from, but they would just call me Fewocious because I was always like the younger friend. All my other friends were older, and we would play Minecraft. And I don't know, they would just call me Fewocious because also I sucked at Minecraft. So I kept dying. So they would make fun of me, being like, "Oh, like you're ferocious, but
Yeah,
Fewocious." They're
but but
like, "I
since you're the
suck."
young one, you're like
Yeah.
Ferocious. Okay.
So they would call me that, and I don't know. I never thought about it as, oh, let me make that my life, you know? And one day I was making a Twitter account and I was like, I need to think of a name. I don't know what to put. And I didn't want to put something random. I was like, no, it has to be cool. So I just put Ferocious, and then it wasn't even connected to art. It was just a
Hmm.
basic Twitter account where I would look at stuff. And then I started posting art and my name was Fewocious on there and I just kept it.
That's
And
awesome.
now
And how
it's
long have
like
you had Twitter? You have a big following there.
um I've had Twitter like since I was like 13,
Oh,
but
okay.
I didn't post art. I guess I was 14 when I started posting art.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really huge because I feel like even, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of artists and younger people as well mainly stay on Instagram. Like I didn't know
Mm.
that Twitter. I don't know if Twitter is like a bigger scene for people who are younger. What do you think?
I don't know how to use Instagram.
Okay,
There's like
see, oh, okay. Well, then maybe it's like totally switched.
well, because Instagram, especially like the algorithm and stuff, it's just like ads or like stuff and I just don't see anything ever that I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But with Twitter, it's like the replies, the retweets. It's just I feel like it's more connected. So
Yeah,
with art, it's like wow, I kind of know this artist a little bit and see
yeah.
their art, and it's just more fun. I don't know.
Okay, that's
I think
cool. No, I
Twitter's
love
cool.
that, and it's perfect because obviously the whole crypto scene is on Twitter, and you like have to have a
Right.
Twitter to
I
like
know. I was
be.
so happy
Yeah,
as I
you're like
joined and I saw.
perfect.
I was like, thank God. I don't know how to use Instagram.
Yeah, no, and it's funny for like Instagram native creators or Instagram native like that's where they post their
Uh
media. They're probably like, what the hell is Twitter? Like this is
huh.
so different than what they're used to. That's awesome. So you've been creating art for how long? Like your whole
Oh
life?
my
Has it
God.
always been a passion?
um. Well, dang. uh,
Okay, so no more soft questions. Now the heavy
Let me
hitters.
think. I mean, I always drew. Like in class, I would be like the kid where everyone was like, "Oh, you're gonna draw something cool." One time we had to draw a bear, and my bear got put on the wall, and I felt like so happy.
That's awesome.
And I don't know, in fifth grade, the teacher was like, "Draw a timeline of history," and they gave me like different events, and
Wow.
they put my drawings like along the wall. So I guess I would draw things because it was fun, but I didn't understand what passion was or technique, or I didn't appreciate art. I was like, I don't know. Those are pictures, like what? Or meaning. And it wasn't even as I got older, I would draw all the time, but because I was bored and it was fun, I was like, this looks
Yeah.
cool. And it wasn't only until I turned like 14, 13, I would just like, I don't know what happened. Like art, I was just like, I think Twitter, like talking to artists and them telling their stories, and they're all way older than me. So I'm like learning from these people who are in this space or in school or like whatever. And it was just fun and I felt part of it. And then I learned more and I don't know.
Yeah,
So
that
I don't
is
know.
what's really cool about social media is that there aren't like these typical barriers to like if you were going to a gallery or like all these things like nobody looks at you and thinks like, "Oh, how old are they or where are they in their life? How long have they been doing this?" It's like if you're putting out things that like connect to people and people love the way it looks, like that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it is, which I really really love that about this space and like Twitter in general. And that really, I mean, you are your own advocate, you're your own marketer, you're your own, entrepreneur, you're everything, which I think is really cool. And also why NFT art makes so much sense. Like, you
Yeah.
sell your own works, like, it is your job. It's no one else's job. So I think that's kind of just like why it all makes sense, right? Um, that's my line. Oh, do you normally say hey? Sorry, I was just reading the chat. But that that's super exciting. I love that you have just been doing this for so long and kind of just like seeing your teachers liking your work and things like that. Do you feel like when you this style that you create with, do you feel like you've had that style for a long time, or do you think like
No.
okay, tell me about like what
um
your old like what
oh
it
my
used to
god.
be.
Let me tell you,
Oh
I was looking
man.
at my art from last year. I was like, that's garbage. Like, I don't know. I don't like my art is so different. How I started, my mom, she had these textbooks from, she didn't go to art school. Her ex-boyfriend went to art school and he left the art books.
Sweet.
And I found the art books and she gave them to me. She was like, I don't know, you like art here. And I would just look at the art books and it showed like all the anatomy and like the muscles. So I would just sit and like I stayed up the whole night like trying to copy the art book. It didn't look like it. But as I did more, it kind of sort of a little bit looked like it from far away. And I was like, oh my God, it looks real. It looks
That's
like real
awesome.
muscles. And then from there, I went on YouTube and watched all these tutorials about how to draw like an eye. So I was trying to do realism just because
Mm.
I was like, oh, realism. I don't know. It looks cool. Um, but then on Twitter, I was seeing like abstract stuff and crazy things I would never have like thought of. And it just blew my mind. I was like, whoa, they put something random here and it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense because it's how they feel. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa. And so from there, I would like not copy them, but like copy them, be like,
Yeah.
oh, they drew like an eye here because it means this, and they would like talk about what it means. So I'd be like, I'm gonna do that, and then from there, I would just like learn from everybody and take things from everybody, and just the inspiration. I don't know, like it grew, and now it's just so different. Oh, and Tim Burton, I was so obsessed with Tim Burton, and so
Yeah.
like if you look at my old sketchbooks, it just all looks like me trying to be Tim Burton and
That's
but
awesome.
failing. So
Yeah.
now I've grown from that.
Well, how long do you think you feel like you've had this style that you're working with now?
Um, I don't know.
That's fair.
It's fairly new. I think I'd say part of last year to now.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
just changing all the time. I don't know.
And while you were just chatting about this, you were like absorbing these textbooks, absorbing the art on Twitter, absorbing Tim Burton. Like I totally see that with what, I know of you from Twitter. Like I feel like, and I told you this a little bit before the stream, I feel like you see something that you think is cool and you are like, let's do it. And let's do it
Yeah.
today. Which is what
Yeah.
I love that about you. That you're not afraid to just like pick up something that's new and unfamiliar, because that's not easy to do. Like, I don't know if you've just been like that your whole life, so it seems easy, but it is like,
Oh,
I applaud that because it's not easy to go out of your comfort zone and to, use these new technologies that you're not used to. Like, you're like, I'm gonna get a headset, I'm gonna go get myself an Oculus and like
yeah.
freaking do this, which is huge. I just guess I wonder, like, is that how you approach most things in life? Is that how you've always approached your art? It seems like it is. And where do those sort of inspirations and ideas come from? Is it mostly the Twitter community or um, other things as well?
I don't. It's just I want to be better. Like I just want to improve. So like what happened is I was talking to Colborn from Mocha,
Mm-hmm.
and he was telling me about VR, and I was like, this is so cool. And I was gonna get my headset that day we had the talk, but Best Buy was closed, and 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 so the next day I was like, I have to go to the store, and so it was just like talking about VR and learning about VR or digital art because before I drew on just paper, it's like
Yeah.
how can I transcend like what I'm already doing? And so I know digital art now. I'm learning painting, and how can I go beyond that? So like I don't know how to do VR, but the only way I can learn is if I like try, you know?
Yeah.
And even if I don't do good, it's like, well, what I learned from this, I could apply to everything else in my life. So I don't know. I just want
That's
to be better
awesome.
as
No,
best as
I
I can.
I love that. And that's such an amazing mentality to have, especially while you're still so young and have so much ahead of you. And that it's just it's a really great mentality to have, and don't ever
Thank you.
drop that or forget that. You mentioned that your mom didn't go to art school, but it seems like she was interested in art. Is she an artist at all, or
Well, my family, they're so funny. They're like,
full of artists?
you're an artist because it runs in our blood. I'm like,
Okay.
they're like that, but no. My family, I mean, they all mess around with like creative things, but they never taught me. They actually don't support my art. They don't like that I do art. So,
Really?
yeah, they like art, but they
Uh
don't
huh.
like support actually doing it, you know?
In what way? Like, do you want to expand on that? Like, have you shared your successes that you've had so far with them and what you're
Yeah.
doing? And are they like, this is like a phase? Like, what are they like? You need to focus on your studies.
Yeah, it's mostly about like school, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because they're from like a different country. They're from El Salvador. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, like you got to go to college, be like a doctor or be like a
Mm.
lawyer. And all the other stuff like is not realistic to them.
Yeah.
And even with all this happening, or even I think the closest they got to understanding is when I did a clothing drop, and my room was full of boxes. So it's these physical things, and they're like, whoa. And then the next day I shipped it all out and it was all
Yeah.
gone. And they're like, where did it go? And I was like, I sold it all.
Yeah.
or or one time I painted all this stuff and I put it on my website, and in like 7 minutes it all sold out.
That's
And they saw
huge.
it happen.
Right.
And so when they see the money
The
part, they're like,
yeah.
oh, I get it. But now with crypto, it like confused them again. They're like,
Yeah.
wait, what? You can't touch it, and just cryptocurrency like doesn't
It,
make sense
yeah,
to
and it sounds
them.
a little sketchy. Like
Yeah.
it seems weird. No, totally. And I mean, of course they're coming from like a very good place when they're
Yeah.
saying stuff like that. And I mean, I've said on here before, I was the first one in my family to even finish high school. So like college for me was like I need to go to college, all this
Hmm.
stuff. Now I have a way different opinion on college, and I think like at this day and time things have changed so much, and I actually
Yeah.
don't think all kids need to go to college. I actually think a lot of people would be better off not going to college, and that might be like a controversial opinion, but I think if someone's a hustler and working hard, I
Hmm.
know some kids that are getting hired at like insane companies at 18, and they are going to work for a few years before they even go to school. So it's like this really cool area that kind of hasn't existed before. And I think we're going to see more and more kids take on, this life of their own and their own career without this standard school regimen.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, obviously they're coming from a great place when they say that,
Yeah.
but I also think that things have changed a lot.
I
And
agree.
yeah, and I'm super happy that you are still um, just grinding with your art,
Yeah.
because that's like, I mean, that's huge. You probably, I mean, did you ever think before? Oh, also, I do want to ask how you even got introduced to NFT art. But then also a
Okay.
second question to that: did you ever think before you got introduced to NFT art that like you would have this kind of success already in your life?
No.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I didn't think anything like this would happen at all in the NFT space or just art, like anything, like even just I was looking at my art. I don't want to sound annoying, but I was kind of looking at my art and I was like impressed.
Yeah.
And not in like, oh my god, I'm like amazing. I was just like, wow. And I or like the last NFT I posted, I was looking at it and I like remembered how I felt when I drew it. And I was like, I'm gonna cry, what the heck? And I wanted to cry because I was like, this is how I feel. And like I made art. Like I'm doing it. I don't know. Anyway, so as far as NFTs and stuff, no. Anything? No, I didn't think any of this would happen. I didn't even think I'd make like enough to like survive in life until I
Yeah.
was like 25 or like 28. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know, art. I think I make cool art and I'll get a job at wherever. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just going to make art and do what I have to. But everything has just been crazy. And to answer your question about how I got into NFTs, uh, so how I made the most money I did before was paintings, like canvases. I would paint a canvas and sell it for not anything as close to what's going on. And I sold a painting. I don't remember how much it cost. I'm gonna say like $90 or like $100. And do you know Shane Copeland or like Esquiat?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he bought the $100 painting, and I didn't know who he was, and I didn't know. I just said like Shane, whatever, and then I shipped it out. And then months passed. I forgot. I'm like, oh, the painting is somewhere. I don't know where it is. And months passed, and then I see an email under the seat, and he's like, I love your painting. I saw that you put a certificate of authenticity with the painting. So you care about authenticity. Well, let me tell you.
Cool. That's
And he
awesome.
told me about NFTs. He said, your art is so cool. He bought 2 more paintings and he said, I love these paintings, but I'd love to have NFTs as well. And he just taught me like everything.
That's
And he was like,
huge.
this is super rare. And because I'm not 18, I couldn't buy like gas money to tokenize. So he
Oh.
so I was like, Shane, there's a problem.
And
I
he was
can't.
like, sure, I'll send you some gas money.
Yes, so he sent me gas money. And that's how
That's
I had
awesome.
enough. Literally, he sent me the gas money, and with that is how I've done like everything.
That's
So
huge.
he's changed my life. He literally, I wouldn't know any of this like if it wasn't for him.
You know
He
what I
changed my
love
life.
about that is like I've heard some stories of some platforms like courting different artists on Instagram and like getting them to come over, which is amazing within itself. But the fact that a patron of yours and someone who really appreciates your work was like, "Hey, let me show you this world. Like
Yeah.
you're perfect for it." That's so huge and so cool. And now the effect that that is having, I see you tweet, that your friends are coming into the space and that you're getting other people with your videos, which are so amazing, by the way, that you just like hop on and like a chat about what you're excited about or what happened that day or what you're working on. Those are amazing. Please don't ever stop doing those. I'm serious. I told you this. Like I send them to my sister and I just you're such an inspiration for everyone. But anyways, I think it's so amazing because it has this like trickle effect where he reached out to you and got you interested in this. You're showing your friends are going to
Yeah.
show their friends. And
All my friends, I'm like, hey,
yeah, yeah,
let me
because
tell
you
you.
guys are like passionate, and this is something that is like sort of like never happened before, and it's this wave of a new era for art, like in general, physical, digital,
Yeah.
doesn't matter what it is. It's music, audio, like
Hmm.
literally all forms of art. It's a new wave for that. So I think it's huge that you're already a part of it, like in it's still in its infancy stage. And I love that he did that. I've reached out to some artists that I'm a big fan of, and I collect their work on Instagram, and and I've been telling them about this, and they are super skeptical to the point where they're like, no, I don't like want to give it a
Oh,
shot.
oh, when Shane, because I didn't know who he was,
Yeah,
when he sent me that email, I thought it was like,
scammy.
I thought it was a scam email. I was
Yeah,
like, what is this? What in the world? And And then he linked me to Super Rare, and I was like, I'm not clicking on this. What is this? And I literally almost, I was gonna delete the email and be like, this is spam. What is this?
Yeah.
Um, I, but I was like, well, I googled it separately in like a different tab by myself, and then
Very
I read
smart.
about it, and then I read about it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I emailed him back, and then he explained it a little bit more, and I was like, I mean, what is there to lose? Like,
Yeah.
so I
Just
just
give it a
tried,
shot.
and yeah.
That's huge. I
And
mean, good for you though, because I feel like a lot of artists that I've been telling about, I've even like at this point I've started resorting to some like kind of douchey tactics where I like send them like screenshots of like something that I've recently sold. I'm like, dude, this is possible. Like, come with me. Like, take the
no,
leap of faith. And it's
when I
still
joined
difficult.
Super Rare, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Oh,
like,
no, no, no. That's all I was gonna
I'm just
say.
like, oh.
Yeah.
When I joined Super Rare, and I was like posting on Twitter, like, oh, I just tokenized my second piece or whatever. A lot of my my friends or like everyone was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What is this? And but not in like, oh, this is cool. It was like, we're worried about you.
Yeah. Like, what cult did you just join?
Yeah. And I would talk about it, and everyone was like, what is this? And it wasn't until I made my first sales that everyone was like,
Okay, now tell me.
wait.
Right.
Yeah. And
Right.
now it's kind of weird, honestly. Some people who were like mean to me about it, now they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, tell me. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy the difference. Or I would tell people about it and they'd be like, you're crazy. And then you look at the DMs and then they're like, oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah. No, totally. No, that's funny. It's funny to also see like how much time has passed in between the last
Yeah.
DM. Um, I just want to read some of the chat. Uh, oh yeah, DCL blogger said, "Hey guys, sounds like my story. They'll come around." I think that means about your parents.
Hi, Maddie.
Emotional Bull, let's go Fewocious. Using crypto, can't wait to get a headset. Maddie, it takes time and money talks. So the more they see folks make legit money, the quicker they'll come around. Very true.
That's
And
true.
obviously, we've seen like the NFT space in the past few weeks just kind of like blow up with DeFi
Yeah.
like flooding in. So I think we're just on the track to like exponential growth. Um, let's see. Matthew from Scent said, thinks out loud, if Ferocious ever makes Fewo, like how do you say your name in the shorthand? Fewo?
I say Fiwo.
Fewo? Okay, Fewo, like coin, like a social token.
Oh,
Esquiat can expect a grande percent allocation. Yeah, no, for sure. Um, awesome. Sorry, I was just catching up with everyone in
that was
there.
cool hearing because I don't know like what people are saying. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
cool.
and by the way, you guys always know if you have questions as we're going, just pop them in, and I'll read them out so we can answer them with Ferocious. Um, okay, so that's huge. I'm really glad to know that that's how you got into the space because I had no idea. That's just really cool. The first time I really saw you just like start dominating was when I saw Maddie start to tweet about you. So you guys have kind of like had this cool
Love Maddie.
friendship for a while, and he's collected some of your works, and I've seen him talk about your stuff, and that's how I started to get to know your stuff. So I think that's really cool and says a lot that already in the space, obviously Maddie is like well known and well loved. Maddie, yes, well loved, if you believe it or not. No, I'm just kidding. And for him to already be promoting your stuff and just like talking so highly of you was just so cool to see. And then obviously, we've heard about your Pomp, like working with Pomp, which is massive and so cool. Do you want to talk a little bit about the piece that recently came out when you guys announced that?
Oh, with Pomp, the
Mm-hmm.
Innovators Dinner.
Yeah.
What about it?
Or just tell us about like
Oh,
where that idea came from, like how long it took you to like think of like how you were gonna paint it, just like a little bit about the piece itself, I guess.
so okay. So it's a commission.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea was like, it would be cool if we found innovators from back then to now and just made like the Last Supper, but in your style and just the idea with all the innovators. But we didn't have the people. Like
Mm-hmm.
we had to pick. They didn't give me the people, and like the Last Supper. is such a one of the most iconic pieces in the world. And when they like said that, I was like, oh, I'm a little bit nervous because it's like, so, like you can't mess
It's a
this
big
up, you
task,
know?
yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know a lot about the piece. I know it's a super important piece, but I didn't know why
Hmm.
or like what even is going on. And I wanted it to be the right people and whatever. So, okay. So the first day after I like got my like what we're doing, I was like, okay, I need to do research. So I got my iPad and my laptop and I just put on so many documentaries. I listened to audiobooks. I was reading all these articles and just about the Last Supper because I was like, I need to know everything. I even watched like conspiracy theory videos of
That's
people like
awesome.
pointing out like random things. I was
Yeah.
like, I need to know every shape of everything to understand. Um, and now I know so much about it, and it's really cool. And then I was like, well, now we have to pick the people. How do you even pick like
Decide, yeah.
yeah, there's so many people in the world and history, so many innovators. I don't know who to pick. And just I spent like 3 days. I felt bad. I was like, I feel like I'm making them wait a really long time. But I didn't want to do a bad job. Like I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna rush. Like this has to be amazing. And they were so sweet. They were just like, you got this. Like take as much time and just we're here if you need help. Go. And it was just like the best experience. Or I'd like have a little question or like whatever. And they were just so nice. And I had all these lists. I made like 4 different lists of different people and it organized and I went on Photoshop and like made a crazy draft of what it would look like and I sent it to them and I was so nervous because it looked crazy and I spent like days working on it and slowly throughout time we picked who would be right and then it was time to draw it now and I was like great I gotta like doing research is cool and all but now I gotta like make it
Actually do it, yeah.
and I feel like I have 2 different styles. Like I use line work and lines, or it looks more like painted.
Yeah.
And I didn't know which way to go. And it was just so many little things that I didn't know. Like, I don't know. I just wanted it to be amazing. But the problem is, I kept saying, this has to be amazing. So I was like psyching myself out while I was drawing. Um, but I think I was really nervous at first, but as I kept going, I was like, "Oh, I got this," and I felt more confident. It was so funny though. The first sketch that I sent them looked so bad. It looked crazy, and I'm so happy they still believed in me
I
after
doubt
I
it was
sent.
bad, but
No, it was just like I made it like a collage of everybody's faces, and then like drew stick figures, and
okay.
like it looked so bad, but it turned out good, I think.
Oh, amazing. People in the chat were saying that it's so awesome, and yeah, you hit it out of the park, Bitcoin
I
Monopoly
remember
said.
when I finished the piece, I was so nervous because I was like right now I'm the only one who knows what this looks like.
Right.
I wanted to be good and I was so nervous. I didn't want to like I would add little tiny things that weren't even anything. I would like slightly change the saturation like 0.001%. And I was like, is that better? Is that better? And then my partner, they were like, you're driving yourself crazy. You have to like calm down, don't look at it for a little bit and go like do something else.
Yeah.
Or or like you're done. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay. So I took some time away and didn't look at it. And then I came back and I was like, okay. And then it was done. And
That's
I'm
awesome.
so happy with it. I think I did a good job. I don't know.
You did an amazing job. I mean, it's such a cool piece, and it already like yeah, no, you like they said you hit it out of the park. And it's a physical painting, right?
No.
And or just oh, it's a digital painting.
Yeah,
Okay,
I did it
sorry,
all
I
on
wasn't
my
sure if it was
iPad.
both. Um, Giselle said in the comments um, that she wants to see the first sketch. She bets it's awesome. Um, and then the Last Supper is an NFT question mark. Yeah, you did turn it into an NFT, right?
Yeah. It's
Yep.
on super. Yeah.
Um, often good to step back and for a bit. Yes, no, I agree. And then we did get some questions before that. One second. Oh, Maddie also said that his wife loves your art. That's awesome.
Thank you, Maddie's
Um,
wife.
so Emotion Bull said, questions about money management. What are your ultimate goals as in creating an LLC, etc., as an artist as well that has dived into the NFT space. This is something that seems the most important. So I guess yeah, what are your ultimate goals in your business and money management?
Um, as far as an LLC, I'm not 18, so like I can't. But besides that, um, I don't know. Like with crypto art, just like changed everything for me, and uh, money management. I don't
What's
spend my money.
that?
Like for real, I don't spend my like the last thing I got was the Oculus, and
Yeah.
before that, like I didn't buy nothing. When I bought my iPad to do digital art, I was like, I know it'll help me, but like I don't want to spend the money. And like going to the store and buying it, I was like,
That's awesome. Good for
I
you.
hate spending money. But honestly, the only thing I will spend money on is art. I want to collect art.
Yeah.
I really want to get into collecting art. But as far as like everything, I don't know. Money man, like I don't know. There's so much to expand. I don't know
Yeah,
which way.
it sounds like you've already got like a good head on your shoulders and like making sure that you're saving and the nice thing about creating NFTs and living in this sort of like crypto digital world is it almost does seem like the money is kind of pretend until you like cash it to USD. So when you are collecting other art, like it doesn't even feel like, oh, it's like, oh, that's like 3 ETH, okay, versus like, oh, that's $1,000. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like it has this weird thing where like when you're collecting with ETH, it doesn't feel quite the same in a good
Yeah.
way as collecting with USD and like swiping the card. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. We had another question come in. Oh, Giselle asked, "What are your influences? Your favorite artists?"
Oh, my favorite artists? Oh, my favorite artist is Zach Thompson. I
Zach
love Zach
Thompson.
Thompson.
Okay.
He's so cool. I he was like it's so crazy how he was one of the first artists I ever followed on Twitter, and his art is so cool. It's so beautiful. The texture is beautiful, and he's so cool. Like he just makes art and then disappears for a little bit and then comes back and then posts more art. And he because with social media, it's so hard. Everyone's posting things and there's stuff all the time, and I feel like I have to keep up or something, and I would like drive
Mm-hmm.
myself crazy trying to make art all the time. But seeing Zach and like he taught me so much, even though like just from me watching him, he would make a beautiful piece of art and then disappear and then come
Yeah,
back
it's
when he made
interesting.
his next beautiful piece of art.
Yeah.
And I was like, this man is quality. And I was like, if I want to make something good, I have to spend time on it
Yeah.
and make it like the best I can. I don't know.
That's
So
awesome. And it's nice to have people like that you look up to and just get inspired by, even if their style is completely different than yours. Like, it's
yeah.
just so interesting. You're like, you know, his different textures and his colors. Like, it's cool to be inspired by that. And also to be inspired by everything around you, not even just other
Yeah.
artists. Like, I recently have gotten inspired by like some furniture that I've been looking at, and I'm like, why am I getting inspired by this piece of furniture? But it's cool because you can get inspired by anything, by a news article, by literally like
Yeah.
walking down the street, like. But it's just kind of a cool, fun thing. Let's see. How often? Oh yeah. Sorry, I wanted to make sure there wasn't another question in the chat. Um, what was I gonna ask next? I had a question for you, and now I'm forgetting it. Anyways, how long do you think? Like, I feel like whenever I see you tweeting, you're like doing this or doing this and doing that. Like, how long are you spending on art a day? Like, I feel like you spend like crazy amounts of hours per day, like every day on art. Is this what you do on the weekends?
Oh, well, this has been a problem. Well, okay, not a problem. Just I don't know. uh, as far as art, well, actually, the last 2 days I've been just packing orders for like prints and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But besides even that is like art stuff. I always like trying to do something. If not doing art, I'm like, I need to be replying to an email right now. And
Yeah.
I need to learn about balance, which is something I've always like had a problem with because I just want to do everything and do it, but then I'm like, I'm tired. Why am I so tired? And then when I'm tired and I'm drawing, I'm like, this is bad and it's not good.
Yeah.
And so I've been working on that. But yeah, in the day, I wake up, I have my class, and then I'm drawing while I have the class. After the class, I do my homework really quick, and then I draw and keep drawing until I'm like, my head hurts. Maybe I should have food. Then I
Yeah.
go have food, and then I come back and I'm just drawing and just always drawing
And what,
all the
how
time.
are the pieces that you're drawing all the time? Would do you say like what percent, or do all of them make it to like a final piece?
Well, right now I'm working on the commissions for
Okay.
Pomp and then other collaborations and like just so much stuff. There's so much happening and it's been so weird like saying no. Like normally when I would say, "Do you want to do a commission?" I would always be like, "Yes," like
Yeah.
all the time. And it's been so weird for the first time in my life like saying like I literally physically
Don't
I
have the
can't
capacity.
like I will like die. Like I can't like I spend so much, there's only so many hours in the day
Yeah.
and it's just weird. And I don't know, that's been like a thing lately. And
Yeah.
like growing up, I don't know, that's everything has been like
Yeah.
a thing.
No, your friends are probably like, we love that you're doing this, but you need to hang out with us more. So,
Yeah, that's been a thing, yeah.
yeah. No,
So,
that's kind of hard when it gets to that point because I mean, I still struggle with that, and my friends like want to kick me half the time because they're like, you need to come out of your house and stop being like such a like not loner, but you know what I mean, like always working. So that's
yeah,
it's hard to find that balance, but you definitely should, if you
yeah.
can, try to find that balance
And it's
because you
so
also don't
weird
want to
too.
burn out. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's so weird too. Like I'll be like, no, I don't want to go out. I need to draw. Or like I need to
Mm-hmm.
do this. But then I go out and I'm like, I feel so inspired from what just
Yeah.
happened. Or like a movie, like I'll be like, I want to watch a movie, but that means I have to take time. And
Yeah.
I want to like focus on the movie and like absorb it. And I'm always so mad and I'll put on a movie and be like mad and then I'll be like, this is really good. I like this. And then when the movie's done, I'm like, dang, I'm really inspired. And then I'll
Yeah.
like draw from it. So I don't know. I'm just so stubborn.
Yeah, but also it gives your mind a break, you know,
Yeah.
when and that which is needed.
Yeah.
And Maddie said, "Don't worry, you have Twitter friends now," with like a nerd emoji. But yeah, and Easy said the balance is hard indeed. But yeah, it is always good to try to find a balance. Hustle, but still try to find a balance.
Yeah.
And we know you're hustling. You don't lack in that category. Um, yeah, Maddie also said entrepreneur biggest problem is balance. Mine at least.
Yeah.
Totally. Um, if you guys have more questions, keep popping them in here. I always love hearing what the crowd is thinking while we're talking about our own stuff. So have you ever explored? So obviously, a lot of your works are digital, and you've done paintings. Are most of your
Mhm.
paintings all acrylic? Have you explored any other realms? I guess like
Well,
oil or
what had happened was
oh
I was painting with acrylic, right? And then I was like, hmm, all the other artists use oils. Maybe I should try it. Maybe there's
uh
something to this. So I bought a big pack of like oils and I was so excited. And then I found out about NFTs and I was like, hold on. You
oh.
can
Okay, you
I'm
can
busy
take a
right now.
back seat for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're sitting over there and as soon as I'm done and I have more time, I just want to paint and paint so much and I have all these canvases and I just want to paint and I don't know.
That's awesome. No, I also love that you do physical work as well because a lot of my work all starts physical, and obviously I love NFTs, but I think there's something really special about painting and like having that physical piece. And it's
Yeah.
also it's special for collectors that do
Yeah.
collect both, or some that only collect physical, but a lot of collectors that collect both to have something that like your literal like hands have been to,
Yeah.
versus like NFTs, which are amazing and take so much time, but it's a
Yeah.
different experience. So I love
Yeah.
that you're doing that. And then before the show started, I was showing you some augmented reality that you're gonna have to start implementing on your physical works, because I
Definitely.
think that's gonna be like just turning it up one more notch if you even can.
I'm so excited. That blew my
Um,
mind.
yeah, no, that'll be really cool. I can't even wait to see what you like. I just know that you, when you see something, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that. Like, I just can't even wait to see what you accomplish with that. Like, your stickers, your T-shirts, your paintings, your prints, anything can be AR. Like, it's crazy, and you have such a cool, unique style that I think it would just like go so well with it. Um, but
Thank
yeah.
you.
Anyways, with your like friends and the community that you do have, would you say that you have a lot of support or like even like artist friends like in real life, or is it mostly an online community, do you feel?
Oh, in real life? Not in real life.
Okay. Yeah, me
In real
neither.
life, I don't know nobody who
Okay.
like does art or anything. But as far as online, I have some friends, yeah. It's just lately it's been really weird. And like talking to people has been kind of strange.
Mm.
But yeah, I have a couple friends and it's just so nice to talk to them and like just talk about art, but also like have fun. And it's not always about like, oh, crypto this, crypto that. Like we could just like talk about whatever. And it's
Yeah.
so nice and like the best in the world. And I appreciate them. So yeah,
Yeah.
I do have some friends. It's really
That's
nice.
awesome. Yeah, no, I don't have a ton of like I guess I don't really have any creative friends in real life, but it's awesome to have that community online, because it does make such a big difference. Like bouncing ideas off or just being a part of community that is like
Yeah.
really excited for what you're doing and like what you're building, which is huge. Where do you see yourself and your brand like a couple years from now? It's a big question.
Couple ye- a couple years from now.
Or more if you want, but I always feel like 5 years sounds so like daunting. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'll be doing in 5 years.
Well, like
Hard.
even I think about next year, like I don't even know. Like
Okay.
so much could happen. I want to get into making clothes. I
Mm-hmm.
already do like printed t-shirts and stuff, but I want to like actually like design like clothes and
Yeah.
make like really cool jackets and put pockets wherever I want because I feel like sometimes jackets don't have pockets where I want them. So like just whatever. And obviously have really cool art or like my drawings, like patterns everywhere of like drawings that I did. I think that would be really dope. I want to learn how to make action figures and like
Yep.
figurines.
That'd be
I think
sick.
that would be really dope. And as far as NFTs and stuff, I just want to keep going and expand like my knowledge with digital art and animating or like whatever or like learning like sound design. I want to work with like different like people who do music and stuff and like really make something crazy. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
like there's so much in every or VR like so
Yeah.
much or I don't know, so much everywhere. I just want to do everything.
That's awesome. I think that's such a good idea, and it's exciting to just be like excited about all those different pockets, because there's so much that could be, dive into with those different things, and there's so many different ideas. Like, I am really interested in like physical collectibles as well, and you can link that to an NFT. So it's not just about it being like one or the other. You can combine those ideas and do it together, which I think is really huge and
Dang,
super
what the heck?
valuable.
Oh, you
We'll
blew my
we'll
mind.
talk we'll
Yeah.
talk offline. I have a lot of things that are in the works that I can give you some
Wow.
ideas on. But yeah, no, that there's so many things that you can connect, and do together. Um, Big dreams, you can do them all. We need Fewocious Decentraland wearables. Very true. Maddie just said
Oh,
that.
I want to learn how to do that. I don't know how to do it. I googled how to do it and I was like, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
I want to
no,
learn.
you can also team up with someone who knows how to do it. That's a really important thing that I've also learned, especially with like being an entrepreneur is and an artist is really like running your own business. So it's
Hmm.
also like if there are some things that it's worth and you need to learn and you like need to learn it in and out so you can always do it, but there also are some things that are worth partnering up with someone who's an expert on it who can like
Yeah.
bring things to life. So always remember that as well. And Maddie said he can help. Exactly. See, partnering up with an expert.
Please.
Um, uh, GTSE, sorry, I don't know how to say your name well, asked, what are your favorite tools of trade, software or hardware?
Like my favorite software?
Like, what are your favorite, like, Yeah, just all like what do you
Oh,
use when you're creating your digital art?
Procreate all the
Yeah.
way on my iPad. I love Procreate. I love my iPad. I use the iPad Pro, but you could use like whatever iPad
Yeah.
that has the Apple Pencil. Um, yeah, my iPad and Procreate, those are my babies. I
Mhm.
love them. I use them every single day of my life. Before that, it was Photoshop. I still use Photoshop all the time. But sometimes I'll load Photoshop on my computer and it takes too long. I'm gonna do it in Procreate. I don't care.
Yeah.
And so Procreate and lately Adobe After Effects
Yeah.
to learn how to move stuff. So that's been crazy, and I've been learning a lot. So many YouTube tutorials. But yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
YouTube comes in
and then
clutch.
Premiere Pro to edit
Yep.
my little videos, my 2-minute videos.
That's awesome. I love your videos. They're so good. So also, and we'll talk about this more, but because you're already learning After Effects, which I didn't know you were already doing that, which is huge, those items that you're animating, if you have prints of those or those on t-shirts, literally to have, and this is to anyone listening, to do augmented reality, which is like, I don't think this t-shirt I have on has it, but like you can have a t-shirt and you can, which is cool, this is showing the background because it's green. But anyways, you scan it with your phone and the t-shirt starts to move on an app on your phone, or the print starts to move on an app on your phone, and it looks really, really cool in person. Literally, if you already have an animation of your piece that is printed, all you have to do is go to an app, a website that I can link you to, and you upload the picture and you upload the animation. And that's it. Like, it is an image recognition service. There are like some nuances to it, but it's an image recognition and tracking service. So literally, it recognizes the image and it tracks that it's on my shirt or that it's on the wall, and it like knows the dimensions of it, and it just starts to play. So that is like literally how simple AR is. And
Oh,
of course, then you get into like mad, crazy, freaking amazing stuff that like Joy does. And Joy truly bringing his works to life in like a 3D form. That's like a whole nother realm. But like as far as 2D AR, it's pretty simple. It's very easy. So I highly suggest if you guys have been interested in that and like worried or not sure if it's hard to do, it's really not, and everyone should go for it. Yeah, OpenNFT just linked Artivive, which Artivive is really easy to use, and I think the first 3 or the first 5 things that you upload are free, and then after that you do have to pay a fee for each one.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
I'm
you
so
should.
excited.
Um, I print AR artworks on tees, wallpapers, art prints, etc. Yep, same here. Easy, love the AR shirts. They're amazing conversation starters around crypto art too. Yeah, Easy has one of my shirts, and he told me that like he just like goes like lets people scan it, and like that's how he like starts the
Oh, that's dope.
conversation because they're
That's
like,
so dope.
wait, what? Which is such a cool. Um,
Oh, that's so cool. I
yeah.
love that.
Also, awesome. Thanks for dropping your Instagram. I'll definitely check that out. Someone who also does AR artwork. But yeah, no, I can't wait to see what you're gonna do with that because I know you're just gonna like blow that out of the park. But so what are you? I know you're working on a lot of commissions right now. What
Mm.
are you really excited about once these commissions are done? Like, do you already have ideas brewing of like what pieces you're going to create next? Does it happen like, do you just think of something and run with it? Like, I'd love to know more about your creative process.
Well, I'm really excited. I'm excited for the commissions. Like
Okay.
they're all super cool, and I'm
How
just
many do you
excited.
have? Or do you?
There is 6, so I have
Oh, wow.
5 more to do, and then I have more like
Okay.
from other people. So,
Okay.
um, I'm really excited just to make art and to like, I don't know, just I learned so much from the last piece because I
Mm-hmm.
spent so long on it that a month is like a long time. So
Yeah.
like I learned so much, so I'm taking all that knowledge and everything and putting it into these, and I don't know, I'm just excited to watch my art grow from these pieces. And I'm doing some collabs with people, and it's like people that I'm like, what the heck? Why do you want to work with me? So I'm like super excited just because they're so cool and I love them so much. And I'm like, I don't know why you picked me, whatever, but I'm so excited. This is gonna be like crazy. So I think whenever that happens, like just seeing that happen and talking to people has been bananas. and like learning from people. And so after all of this, because I'm like full until like January,
Wow,
and
that's huge.
so when by the time I get there, I will have learned so much from all of this and from working with people and just like sending files back and forth and talking and being like, oh, because I've never been a part of nothing. Like
Yeah.
before, it was just me doing my little doodles, but it's like talking to people and be like, well, we have this theme and how can we make it like this? And it's these people older than me who have been working in this space like forever and know so much, and different people from all over the world, different cultures, like so many little things that I'm just learning and so happy. And so when all this is done, I don't know like what I'm gonna do. Like I will have learned, I don't know. I
That's
don't know.
awesome. That's huge. No, I love that. That's amazing. And I love your enthusiasm and like how humble you are, and you're just so genuine and true to yourself. And I mean, even through these like snippets and videos we see that you post on Twitter, I seriously like they make my day watching them. Like I can imagine how everyone else feels when they watch them. Like it feels good to watch what you're doing and what you're creating and being such a positive, amazing influence in the space. I just like want you to like keep doing you because you're doing like everything right. And yeah, no, I'm just super, super happy to just see more talent flood into the space and in such a positive way, um, like you. But
Thank you so much.
yeah, of course. Okay, so if you guys have questions in the chat, feel free and pop them in. We're gonna start doing some final questions, and then at the end of these, I do like my weird questions, kind of like get to know you and ask you weird stuff, but nothing too difficult, hopefully. So ask your final questions in the chat if you have them. Also, when you were just talking, I was thinking about this. I was like, dude, by the time you're like 20, you're gonna be able to buy your own house. Like, I don't know if you ever want to do that, but I was like, that is sick. Like, that is so cool. I love how you're like, I'm not 18 yet, so I can't do this or I can't do that. And I'm like, that is just so mind blowing, which is huge. Um, Maddie, you can't ask that. He said, who is your favorite collector?
My favorite collector.
You don't have to answer that unless you want to, but
I love all of them.
good
I
answer.
appreciate all of you so much.
Maddie said Maddie. Yeah, it depends on who's in the chat, right? I guess. Sure, Maddie, you can be the favorite right now while we're answering this, but who knows? It might change later. Um, Open NFT asked who on ramped you to NFTs. I don't know if you missed the front of the episode, but we were chatting about Esquiat, who on ramped Fewocious through collecting your work and wanting you to get into NFTs, which is awesome. Um, oh, thank you, Bitcoin Monopoly. Um, that's awesome. Awesome. Okay, so let me know if you guys have more questions. Keep popping them in there. I'm going to ask you my weird closing questions.
Okay.
Let me pull them up. I always should have them pulled up, but I never do because that's how I run things.
I love it.
A skill that you wish you had.
That I wish I had. Oh, before art, I wanted to make music.
Okay.
That's like I wanted that so bad, but I just suck. Like I worked so hard. I was like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's like
So,
math to me. I'm
like
like, I don't know.
singing or playing a specific instrument, like what did you try out?
Well, I was in choir for like a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they let me in. I don't know. We went to festivals and stuff. I swear the teacher never tested me. Like I'm not a good singer. Instruments. I was in orchestra. I failed orchestra. I'm so bad. I just don't understand. I can't like read and like do things, and I don't know. I'm just not good at music. It
Fair.
doesn't process.
Yeah, Easy and Crypto said, I think you found your jam with art.
Yeah.
Um, your favorite animal.
My favorite animal? Oh my goodness. You said these questions weren't hard. My favorite animal? I don't know. A gecko.
A gecko. Interesting. I've never heard that one before. Is there a reason why?
I want one.
Okay. I love that. I would probably, I mean, everyone on the show knows I have two really cute little new kittens. So if you ask me what my favorite animal, I'd be like, my two kittens. So I feel like whenever you want an animal or you have it, you're like, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Um, actually, I just remembered too. Our Scorpio DCL said I used to have a leopard gecko. Doesn't Giselle? Are you still in the chat? I don't know if she hopped off, but I'm pretty sure she has some interesting. I think it's a. I don't know. She has some weird animal that I think is a gecko or something related to it. Um, Bitcoin
Yeah.
Louis Coin Gecko Center a Gecko NFT.
I
Um,
want a gecko. I want to name it Spider-Man.
oh, that would be awesome. Um, let's see. Next question. If you had to only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, such a good
Or
movie.
this was so different. Interstellar.
Yeah, also an amazing movie. Very, very different. And
Yeah.
I feel like they actually both are really inspiring for artists, like in a weird way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they both have just like this, like Interstellar just like blows your mind, and you're like, what
Yeah.
the heck just happened? And then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is just like everything about it is
That movie,
beautiful.
I watched it on. No, I watched it the first day it came out, and then I watched it again. I watched it like 3 times in the theaters. It made me cry so bad because he's
Yeah.
drawing at the beginning. I love Spider-Man, and so he's drawing at the beginning, and he's listening to music, and he has to go to school, and he has like problems with school. I'm like, oh my god, this is me.
Yeah.
And just the whole time, or like his dad like didn't support him, but then he like did this thing, and then his dad supported him, and I was like, oh my god, this is like they made this for me. So
Seriously. And
I
I
was
was
just so
reading
happy.
somewhere that like they made the movie that I don't know if it's the whole thing or certain parts of it. I'm pretty sure it's like the whole thing that like anytime you pause, the frame is like the what's in the frame could like be a standalone piece, like
Yeah,
a standalone like comic or like the what's in the frame is always beautiful, like at all times. So
yeah.
like how it's insane. I don't know how long it took them. Did you see recently on Twitter that that they showed like the 3D like CGI models of the characters?
What do you mean? Oh, like
So
the realistic looking
yeah,
ones, and everyone
yeah.
got mad. I
Everyone
don't know.
got
I thought it was cool.
I know. I actually felt really bad because I was like, this is like that's very hard to accomplish, and everyone was like,
Yeah,
this is crap, and I was like, oh,
yeah. I was like, it's
I
not
feel bad.
like it's someone made it for fun.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Your favorite place on Earth, near or far?
On Earth, my my room.
Yeah, I near or far. That's a good answer. Meta said his backyard, so that's
Oh, the
you're in the
backyard's really
right
cool.
area. Um, I Bitcoin Monopoly said I just love how Fewocious is. My first how real you are. Sorry, my first time here. How often do you do this? I do it basically every Thursday. The show. There's some that I skip. And thank you for saying this. This has been a great interview. I appreciate it. And then Fewocious posts videos like little clips on Instagram all the time. So definitely be following if you're not. Um, Studio Nouveau asked, do you ever listen to music while you work? Does any particular music inspire your art at all?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Oh, I listen to so much when I draw. Um, right now it's not music because actually music with words is hard for me to listen to because if it's like the same words over
Mm.
and over, I'm like, it's like brainwashing me, and I start
Yeah.
drawing what's in the music, and so it's been a problem. So I try not to listen to music with words, but sometimes I need those music with words. So it just whatever. All types of genres. All sometimes I listen to French music. I don't even know French. I know
Yeah.
Spanish though, so I'll listen to Spanish music. I'll listen to old music. I listen to music now, like whatever, different genres, everything. But lately, my jam has been movie soundtracks.
Okay,
I was
cool.
listening to the Coraline soundtrack while I was drawing, and I was like, "Ooh,
Oh,
this is so cool!" And or like Interstellar. I love the Interstellar soundtrack. I feel like, wow, I feel important because it's like space stuff, and so all types of soundtrack. Or Edward Scissorhands, the soundtrack is really good. Um, and then besides that, podcasts, audiobooks, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Anything that I can,
That's
I listen.
awesome. Yeah, no, that's interesting. And like when sometimes when you do need words and sometimes when you don't, that's an interesting point too. Um, Bitcoin Louie said, "Yes, I love Tron Legacy soundtrack. I get chills."
Oh, that's a good soundtrack.
GT said, "When are you both coming to Australia to have an in real life exhibition in Melbourne? I have a gallery." Cool. Well, I don't know when, but that sounds awesome. Um,
Yeah.
we're down. Thank you, Easy. Yeah, movie soundtracks are great to create too. Okay, next question. What this one? I guess you're the first guest that this applies the least to, but that's okay. We'll still ask it. What was
Okay.
cool when you were young but isn't cool now? So when you were really young, what was cool when you were like a kid but is not cool now?
What was cool? I don't.
Like
I
for
think everything is
example,
still
when
cool.
I was really young, like we always used to have those like glitter like gel pens, and we used to like give each other tattoos at recess with these like glitter gel pens, or like you know what I
I
mean?
think
Like
that's still cool.
okay, yeah, but like it was like the thing when we were in elementary school,
Oh,
and
well, when I
then
was
it
in
went away.
elementary school, I would I would sell silly bands.
Yes, okay, I know what silly bands are. That's
So
that's a good
everyone
one.
wanted silly bands. And I was like, I want money so I can buy ice cream after school.
Yeah,
So I had one silly band and I sold it. And then with the money I made from that silly band, I bought more silly bands and then just sold them. And then the school banned
silly
this
bands.
is yeah, and said, you can't sell them, whatever. So,
That's really funny.
but
Yeah,
silly
no, I
bands.
used to, well, those, like, when I was talking about those glitter pen tattoos, I used to charge people a quarter to, like, give them the glitter pen tattoos. So, no, I did the same thing. I was a little hustler. Um, what, or would you want to live forever? It's a deep question.
Mm. Would I want to live forever?
A lot of people, most people say no to this answer. I don't know if that sways you, but
Well, can I like choose to... Sounds bad.
choose to
Can I choose
die.
to die?
I know we've talked about this. No, no, that's not bad. Have you seen the show? What was it called? Now I forget the name of the show. Like it's like pause or replay or like something. What is the name of it? I don't know, but anyways, he goes to this like when you die you get upload. That's the name of the show. When you die you like get uploaded to this like VR world, and you live forever. But there's this weird like glitchy like portal that like people are like don't go to the whatever it's called, and like that's basically committing suicide. So I was like, sure, if there's an off button, okay, let's
Yeah,
yeah.
I would live forever if I could like die. Like if
Eventually,
I when I want. Yeah,
I'd live
like
forever
if
if I could choose to die.
yeah, like
Okay,
if something terrible happened, I'd be like, bye. Like
fair.
robots taking over. I don't
Yeah.
want to deal with that.
Um, okay, no, that's fair. Um, Bitcoin or Ethereum? That one might be easy for you.
Well, I mean, Ethereum
Yeah,
changed everything.
yeah.
So yeah,
No, I could see that. Okay, two last questions. What is your favorite NFT that you own?
like mine or
Or
someone. I only have.
anything, your most prized NFT. And someone, I think one of my last episodes said they didn't even have an NFT, but if you have any, what is your most prized NFT?
My favorite one right now is I won the Jonathan Wolf NFT. His art, I love his art. He's one of my favorite artists like in the world, and he's so nice. And I didn't think I was gonna win the thing, and I got it, and I have it, and I feel so happy because I'm
That's
like, oh,
huge.
I collected art,
That's
and I have
awesome.
it,
Good for
so I'm
you.
happy.
Okay,
Thank
last question. If you could have one NFT that you wanted for free, any NFT out there, which would it be? So that can be art, it can be land, it can be literally anything.
That's so hard. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Any NFT? There's so many.
I know,
this
there's a lot.
I don't know. That definitely art. Um there's so many artists I love. I don't know, something crazy. Like something like I wouldn't be able to get. I'm so mad. Even once I can't. Like there was a nifty drop and I was so excited. I was like, I'm gonna get something. And then it sold out like in 2 seconds. And I was like, oh my God.
No
I was so
way.
upset. I
Um,
was napping.
that oh, this is weird. Sorry, someone commented and gone. I don't know what that means. Did we lose you? Or did you guys lose us?
I think they meant that everything goes. Like in this, it sells out.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, oh crap. I always get so oh no, we must have been gone because Easy just said and back. Stream cut out, but it's good now.
Oh,
What did
maybe
you
it just cut
last
out.
hear? It cut out just
Oh,
must have been a second ago. Oh, it didn't cut for you? Okay. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I always get so nervous because this happens
oh.
often with Twitch
Yeah,
and
I
we
don't know
must
how you do it live. I would be too nervous, like way too nervous to like do
I
live
I told
things.
you the reason why I do live, and this is not a secret, is because I'm way too lazy to edit anything, and I just want to like go live, push it, and that's it. Um, okay, cool. Glad that you guys were all still on there. Well, that was the last question. I don't think we had anything come in through the chat. Nope, I don't think so. This was awesome. I'm so happy
Yeah,
just to
what?
like, yeah, get to know you a little bit more and hear about your creative process and where, like, how you've gotten here and all of these amazing things that you're working on. I can't wait to see these commissions that you have like booked up until next year. That's huge. Congratulations on everything, by the
Thank you.
way, and just making such a huge wave, but also being a massive inspiration for so many people, myself included.
Oh
I
my
think
goodness.
that you're doing really, really cool things, and I'm super excited to just like see this like roll into something bigger and bigger and bigger. So congrats, and thank you for doing
Thank you.
this, and
What the
thank you for
heck?
sharing your talent.
Thank you. What the heck? I saw the DM. You're like, hey, do you want to be on the thing? And I was like, oh my God, you picked me? Like, I just couldn't believe it. I was so happy. So thank you for liking my stuff and wanting to
Yeah.
talk to me.
No, of course, I appreciate it. This stream has been really fun, and I just think you are such a bright and like lively and positive person, and um I think the space needed more of that, and I'm super excited to have you here. If you ever need anything, obviously reach out, but I'm just so excited to see what you have going on and all of these things that you have up your sleeve and you're building. And it's also really exciting to see someone young just like taking advantage of, and I'm serious because like, I mean, I'm sending my little sister your videos as inspiration because she is not sure if like she would be able to come into something like this, and you've just been from the start, even before NFTs, like you've just been so passionate about your work and built this community on Twitter. So thank you for just sharing that with everyone, and like this has been cool. And I can't wait to interview you again in like a year, and you talk about all of the absurd crazy things you're doing within this realm and the other realm and clothing and like all of this cool stuff. Maybe you even pick up music by then, you learn how to play in like virtual, like who knows, you know
Oh
what I
my
mean, like
goodness.
the options are endless. So anyways, um this was awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. The crowd, you know, I always appreciate you guys being active and hopping in here with questions and everything. We appreciate you. And I will be back next week with Tommy, and then the week after that with Carlos. And I'm super excited for those as well. So I will see you next Thursday. And thank you, Fewocious.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, also, Fewocious, what's your Twitter handle, just so people can follow it if they don't?
Ferocious.
Okay, it's just the same thing at
Yeah.
Fewocious. Okay, that was easy enough. All right. Well, that was it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.